Welcome in. TNC Radio.live presents Taillights with the Baums. Now here's Larry and Angie Baum.
Oh, you're so funny. I was like, I bet you he's going to mess up our name. Oh, you're so funny. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Taillights with the Baums. I'm Angie.
And I'm Larry. How's everybody doing today?
Everybody's probably shocked they don't hear you too often. You're usually sleeping.
I know. I'm awake.
We are joined tonight with our friend Patsy. She is from 18 Wheels Matters. And so we're going to be talking a little bit tonight. Patsy, I want you to introduce yourself and just kind of tell everybody a little bit about who you are.
Well, thank you, Angie. My name is Patricia Ford. We're stationed in Bentonville, Arkansas. 3 beautiful children, and we just love going out and handing out gift bags and seeing the truck drivers smile.
That is so awesome. So you started this, how long ago did you start 18 Wheels Matters, and what was the deciding factor? You're like, I think I'm going to start this organization.
Well, let me tell you, Angie, it all started with a can of cappuccino back 3 years ago when COVID hit. At the time, I was going to go out with my husband at that time on the truck for the summer, and COVID had hit. And I don't like the cappuccino in the truck stops. So I told him, I said, hey, we have a neighborhood market right up the street. Let's just stop in there and I'll get a can of that. And then I'm going to use the hot water from the truck stop. So we did that. And I went in there and they were out. I was going to get French vanilla and they were out. And I asked the lady about it and she said, no, she said, the truck won't be here till tomorrow. And I said, well, we're leaving today. And, I was, I'm just the type of person, if I want it right then. But so we had to go ahead and leave, and we left and we got on our load and we got situated. And I pondered on it for like a day and a half. And I told him, I said, think about it. During COVID, here it is in the middle of COVID. The shelves were practically empty. I was like, what if another truck never came? And he said, what? And I said, seriously, what if another truck never came? And he said, oh, you're being ridiculous. And I said, no, think about it. So the following morning, I just woke up and I said, hey, you know what? It's Blessed Trucker Day. So it wasn't much, but we pulled out $5 and my daughter and I, we walked up. Well, he was with us. We all 3 walked up to the fuel island and we told our daughter, pick any truck you want to. And she picked a blue Volvo and he was a bull hauler. And I believe it was a Volvo. I don't know my trucks very well, but we just presented him with that. And just to see the smile, Angie, that's what did it for me. The smile and hear him say, oh my goodness, nobody has ever said thank you. He said, I so much appreciate this. And it softened my heart. And I was like, these people are underappreciated for what they do. I mean, without them, the truck drivers, we wouldn't have what we need. So I told my husband, I said, I want to do something special. I want to do something special for them. So it kind of took off, and people were asking, hey, can we donate to this? And so it took off for a little bit, but, eventually all things new come to an end. And so now it comes out of our own pocket, but you know what? It's okay. We still get to see them smile. And it's so many memories for 3 years. This has been such a beautiful thing. I love it.
Okay, that's so awesome. I mean, we're very similar. That's kind of how we decided to do Tree a Trucker. But yours, in regards to ours is completely different because I think yours reaches way more people because now you also have on Wednesdays where you have the knowledge on TikTok where everybody gets together and you have a topic. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I started out on the Chi Girl 35 account on TikTok, and I liked my following small, and it got so big that we started 18 Wheels Matter, their own page. And then so many people was asking questions, I would go into my husband's live and I would read comments, while he was driving. That way he could keep his focus on the road. And people started coming in. Well, what's an 8-hour break? What's an 8-hour split? That's what it was. And so many questions. And so we decided we were going to start up what was called a Trucker Knowledge Live. And we started out doing that, and it started out small. We had people flooding us with questions. What's a 10-hour? They wanted to talk about oversized loads. And there was one time, Angie, that someone was asking about a pre-trip. What's a pre-trip for? What does it involve? We had a driver that actually was parked in a truck stop and even got out of his truck for us. And he did it voluntarily. We were very thankful. And he pointed the camera out and he showed us everything. I mean, what they do, where they have to look, and what a pre-trip involves inside the truck, outside the truck, under it, under the hood, the trailer, the whole 9 yards. And we have grown so much because people come in and new CDL holders, where do I go? Can I get more information on this? The topic today, we did have a lady ask a question. We let them send me messages and they get to pick the topic, and we will discuss that. Our topic today, a lady had messaged in and asked, as a spouse or significant other of a truck driver, have you been able to handle them being gone? Have you turned to substance abuse? And if you did, how did you handle it? And what advice can you give? So it was a really great live. We got to hear from a couple of people.
I mean, that sounds super, super good. I mean, what I love about the concept, first of all, is that you're reaching not only new drivers, but your longtime drivers that have been out here, plus truckers' wives, or anybody even interested in the trucking industry. So it's given a way for the newbies to learn some great information, but also those who maybe aren't too familiar with the trucking industry and all it entails, they get a little bit of education and knowledge as well.
Correct. Yes. And we had so many wives coming in there, Angie, that we have now started up. Well, it's been started up for quite a while. We just merged in a little bit, but we have a 18 Wheels Matter spouse, significant other, spouse support group. In fact, there's another group on here, 32 Truckers a Day. They are merging just the support group in with us. So we have renamed that to 1832 Spouse Support Group. So, and it's starting to grow. We have, I think, 15 women in there now. So, and then we've also expanded out. A gentleman that he actually seen our lives, and he seen us handing out gift bags from Road Pro, and he reached out and asked if he could, get me the contact information for their office. He was on the council. He was a board member, and so they donate maybe once a month. Or like at Christmas during the big times, they will donate, and we'll put some goodies in the gift bags for the truck drivers. The Discord app, we're on Instagram now, and it's great.
That is awesome. Yeah, I'm actually one of the founders of 32 Truckers a Day, along with Lisa and Candace, and we're thrilled that we get to be a part of that. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, one of the things I kind of want to talk about right when we start out is how people can find you and how they can make a donation to help you with your gift bags and everything that you're doing. So we'll take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to continue talking with Patsy from 18 Wheels Matters. You are listening to Taillights with the Baums here on TNC Radio, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
8 fun facts about truckers. It may be likely that when asked about your driving career and what all it involves, you're able to rattle off some answers like far from home, little sleep, heavy loads, big rigs, lots of waiting, gas stops and rest stops. But there is so much more to the freight industry that you should appreciate yourself for. Number 1, and so it began. A German-American blacksmith named Charles Fruoff invented the first tractor-trailer back in 1914. He needed a way to transport his boat. Number 2, now hiring. In the United States alone, 8.9 million people have a job in the trucking industry. 3.5 million of these are truck drivers. Number 3, the roots with a growing job. The trucking industry is soaring. Since this is a multi-billion-dollar industry, it's worth serious consideration as a stable career for anyone looking for an exciting change in job security. You go, girl. Only 6%, or a total of 234,000, truck drivers are women. Women are rarely the first to come to mind when we think about truck drivers, but these tough women are embracing the new family dynamics the pandemic has presented to all of us, and taken on careers to keep their families and America rolling. Number 5, time to fuel up. There are about 15.5 million active trucks in the United States trucking industry, and the average commercial truck consumes over 20,000 gallons of fuel each year. Number 6, less pollution is the solution. Because of clean diesel technology, 60 modern-day trucks put out the equivalent emission of a single truck from 1988, and emissions from heavy trucks have been cut over 95% in the past 2 decades due to EPA regulations. Thank you, science. We can all breathe easier. Number 7, shoot for the stars. You'll land on the moon. There are close to 16 million active trucks in the United States, with over 3.5 million truckers behind the wheels. This means that if you could pile up the vehicles, they'd reach the moon. Number 8, home away from home. Truck drivers spend more than 240 nights away from home each year. Small business truckers drive more than 3 million miles in their lifetime, which breaks down to a yearly average of more than 115,000 miles.
Building Strong Minds with Dr. Christopher Cortman every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. As a professional driver, you are always being told about the importance of physical fitness, your health. But what about mental fitness? On the show each week, we take on a new topic, from loneliness to the power of gratitude to how to build strong relationships, all from the perspective of a driver's life. It's every Monday on TNC Radio Live at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's Building Strong Minds.
Hello, I'm Rod Samuels. I put it in reverse gear Monday through Thursday nights at 10, 9 Central on TNCRadio.live. We know that life as a driver is not easy. Between four-wheelers and Mother Nature, sometimes life throws us curves like no one else. Quite often we need help from the good Lord just to make it through the day. When you do, dial the TFC Global 24-Hour Prayer Line. It's 866-515-9406. Now, if you're using the TNCRadio.live app, just press the prayer line button to be connected with a prayer warrior who will confidentially pray with and for you. The number again, 866-515-9406, or tap the prayer line button at the TNCRadio.live app.
Welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Taillights with the Baums. I am Angie, and I'm here with Larry this evening.
Miraculously, I'm still here.
And we've been talking with Patsy from 18 Wheels Matters. Before we went to the break, we were kind of discussing a little bit about your gift bags and about your knowledge that you do on Wednesday, the live on TikTok. But if somebody wanted to follow you or possibly donate, how would they go about doing that?
That's a great question, Angie. They can follow us if they're on TikTok, 18_wheels_matter. We are on there. If they want to donate, the Cash App and Venmo is in the bio. However, if they want to donate something other than monetary, we do have a separate address set up for that. And we can get that to them as well. We're also on Facebook. We have our Facebook 18 Wheels Matter on there. As I said earlier, we're on Instagram as well under 18 Wheels Matter.
Still with us?
Okay,
Angie?
now let me unmute. I'm so sorry. My dogs was barking and I muted my microphone. Oh, love dogs. Anyway, thank you so much for that. And so if anybody does want to donate or follow 18 Wheels Matters, please make sure you guys follow those links, and we'll repeat them again at the end of the show. So if anybody wants to make a donation. Now, you had kind of talked to us a little bit about how you started the organization, and, it was during COVID time. And what are some of the things that you kind of put in the gift bags?
Road Pro has donated things like thermos cups, the little miniature shower gels, hand sanitizers, conditioners. We have went to the store and we've gotten dude wipes, gloves, because we know their gloves wear out getting fuel and stuff, notepads, baby wipes, shower gel, hand sanitizer. I think I said those. Angie, we just put all kinds of stuff in there. Road Pro has also donated flashlights, keychains with silencers, and we've also gotten the little triangles that you can put out, like for a caution if you break down or something. We have gotten those, the foldable ones, numerous things. They even gave us a crock pot to just for one time, just once a month, like a bigger item. And we give that away. So just all kinds of things, pens, toothpaste, toothbrush. At Valentine's Day, we did boxes of chocolates. For Christmas, instead of getting like gift bags, we would get the stockings, and we would put the truck driver's items in the stockings. We always put a little thank you card in there for thanking them for everything they do and everything they go through for us. Numerous items, yes.
And see, I think that's why you and I are very similar, because our Treated Trucker program is kind of similar like that too. And I don't know about you. Well, I do know, but I know for us, when we're handing out stuff, doesn't it just make you feel awesome? Because I think what people don't realize, and one of the things that you mentioned, is when you gift a trucker and you say, hey, thank you for being out there. I always say, thank you for sacrificing your time from your family and friends. And I think so often when you do that, you could just see the expression on the trucker's face. They just lighten up, they melt, and they're just like, wow, thank you for saying thank you and for recognizing me and appreciating me.
Exactly. This last segment that we gave out, the gift bags that we gave out, we went down 49 and went into Oklahoma. And we had a gentleman who actually thought we wanted him to buy the gift bag. And that video is on TikTok under the 18 Wheels Matter account. He thought we wanted him to buy it. And I was like, no, it's free. It's yours. Well, why? Well, we would like to thank you for everything you do for us. And at that station also, there was a driver that he just, and you can see in the video on the 18 Wheels Matter, he was like, well, where are you based out of? And we told him Bentonville, Arkansas. And he said, and you traveled all the way here just to give out gift bags? And I said, yes. And he said, why? And so I told him, we get to be at home every night. You don't. Without you, we wouldn't have what we need, which reminds me of the very first gift bag we gave out. I cried. I cried like a baby. We went and we knocked on the gentleman's door. If they're sitting up in their seat, I will approach the vehicle, but if they're not in the seat, I don't approach it because I never know if they're sleeping and I don't want to bother anyone. So we approached the semi and he opened the door and I told him, I said, sir, we just want to thank you for everything you do, everything you go through for us, because without you, we wouldn't have what we need. So we would like to present this gift bag to you. And he was like, what? And I said, we would like to give you this. And he said, really? And I said, yes. And he said, nobody ever does this. And I said, well, I want to thank you. Thank you very much. And his daughter, on the thank you card, he pulled it out and he read it to his daughter, and she found us on 18. Well, no, that was back when it was on Chi Girl. It was our very first gift bag, and it was on the Chi Girl 35 account on TikTok. And she reached out to us and she asked me, she said, can I get your address? And so I gave her my address and she sent me a thank you card. So, it's so rewarding and it's so heartwarming, and it makes you feel good to know that you're helping somebody who feels like nobody's there for them. And that's the thing, is they're out there all alone, male or female, it doesn't matter. They're out there alone in that truck, driving down the road, and they have time to do is think and make decisions, wondering what the next vehicle is going to do,
Oh, absolutely. And we've talked about this so many times during COVID, truckers were the heroes. They're the ones supplying the country. Yeah. And once the country went back to being normal, now we've gone back to being, oh God, it's just the truckers. So when you do stuff like that, and I want to tell everybody too, please visit her on TikTok. She has videos, first of all, of showing her giving out the gift bags, but the ones that I love even more is when her and her daughter will go up to the highway and try to get the truckers to honk, doing the good old arm pump. Seriously, I love that. I love it when people do that to me, and I love the fact that you and your daughter are doing that, because darn good and well, every one of those truckers has got the biggest smile on their face watching you guys doing the arm pump, trying to get them to honk their horn. And what gave you that idea?
Well, let me tell you about that. One day, we were just, we thought we were bored. We were just sitting here. It was on a weekend. And I said, hey, you want to go out to the highway? And it's 2 blocks away. The highway's about 2 blocks away. And so we got the dog and we took a walk. And the next thing we know is we just started doing arm pumps. And I thought, this is like the coolest thing ever. I said, this is going to bring so many smiles to their faces, and we'll just get all kinds of smiles and everybody will be happy. So let's just start video on them. Well, then she was like, hey, Mom, I got a joke for you. So we've only done this twice, Angie. And the reason being, we just started it, like I said. So she come up with the name. We got so much feedback. Let me back up. We got so much feedback from that very first time we did that. We had one truck driver send me a message, and I let her read it. I let my daughter read it. And he said, I want you to know that whenever I'm having a bad day, I saved that video. And you can see at the bottom on TikTok how many people have saved it. He said, I saved that video. And when I'm having a bad day, I will just go and I will watch it because it makes me laugh. Because in between the semis honking, she would start telling jokes. And
Yep.
it was so fun. It was so much fun. So I told her, I said, we need to continue this for them. Look at what they're saying about this. And she was like, well, Mom, we can help them. And I said, yes, we can. And I love that part of it because it's showing her, it's showing her care and compassion. And so not only that, but other things as well. So she said, Mom, I have the perfect name. And I said, what's that? And she said, arm pumps and highway jokes. And I'm like, that is awesome. So she started her own little thing there.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the fact that you're including your daughter and you're getting her involved in this because, like you said, you're showing her compassion and you're showing her to give back and you're showing her to give thanks. So it's awesome.
Not to cut you off, but let me ask you before I forget. Did you see this last one that we just did over the weekend?
I did.
She's seen her principal.
Yep.
Yes.
That was so awesome.
We could not figure out who was in that vehicle. And she said, Mom, that woman is staring at us. And I said, it's okay. We don't have to know who it is. They're liking this. And so the next thing we know is after the semi had went by, he honked his horn. I pressed the pause button and the lady rolled down her window and Sarah was like, oh, Mom, that's my principal. And
I saw that. We're going to take just a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we'll continue our talk with Patsy from 18 Wheels Matter. You are listening to Tail Lights with the Baums on TNC Radio. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Catch Mind Your Trucking Business Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern with James Rogers, Jamie Irvine, and Tom Kelly. They provide expert advice about starting, operating, and growing a professional trucking business. It's Mind Your Trucking Business on tncradio.live.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
diesel particulate filter regeneration.
The DPF catches particulates left over from combustion. The DPF regeneration cycle cleans the filter with temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. A computer sensor triggers the DPF regen, which is often accompanied by a loss of power and fuel economy. The frequency of DPF regens are in correlation to the cleanliness of the fuel burn. Under heavy operation with the dirty burn, DPF regens can occur multiple times per day. Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme Fuel Additive promotes a more complete combustion, creating fewer emissions and therefore fewer DPF regens. Vehicles using Diesel Extreme experience 83% less DPF regens.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, Fine Farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
I'm Shelley Johnson with Kathy Tuccaro. You can hear us Tuesdays on tncradio.live at 8 p.m. Eastern on Women Road Warriors. And don't miss Steve Summers' Overnight Drive right here on tncradio.live, weeknights midnight to 5 a.m. Eastern. Brought to you by Hot Shot Secret.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
diesel fuel cetane levels.
The cetane rating in diesel fuel is 42 to 45. Most diesel engines operate more efficiently with a cetane rating of 48 to 50. One treatment of Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme will raise your cetane 7 points, increase fuel economy, and improve cold starts.
Hot Shot Secret Diesel Extreme is available nationwide at truck stops, Fine Farm and auto stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Taillights with the Baums, and I'm here. I'm Angie, and I'm here with my husband, Larry, and we've been talking to Patsy from 18 Wheels Matters. Now, I know with us, when we do Treat a Trucker, we always have like those ones that stick out in your memory and you're just like, oh man, I remember when I gifted that person, and you remember the story or the feeling or whatever, or how you made that. Do you have like some special ones that you did you could kind of share?
Well, and that was the ones that I shared. The very first gift bag we gave out, the gentleman cried. Now there was another one that stuck out. We went to a local workman's travel plaza in Lowell, Arkansas, and there was a gentleman that he stuck there through the holiday, and he had his family at home, and something happened with the load. There was some kind of miscommunication, and the news station happened to be there, and they were like, oh, wow, so they started videoing us and shooting us, and it was our local station 4029, and they interviewed him, and excuse me, it was very emotional because he said he's been out there driving for 32, I believe is what he said, 32 years. And the man just teared up. And he said that he had never had anyone to say thank you. But then out of his window popped a little doggy. So we started carrying doggy treats. And then our daughter was like, Mom, we got to carry the cat treats too. So we went to the store and we got some, and we took them straight back to him. Now, the next big one that really, really sticks out was this last segment that we did in Oklahoma. When we went up to the door, we could see the expression on the gentleman's face. He was just, Angie, he was so distraught. He was so sad. And, I handed him the bag and told him thank you for everything he does and everything he goes through for us. And that is on 18 Wheels Matter. I didn't have the heart to post that video without talking to him first, but he did go ahead and give me permission. He was really sad. And I asked him, I said, sir, are you okay? And my daughter was videoing that one. I said, are you okay? And he said, yeah. And you could tell he wasn't being very truthful. And I said, well, one of the ladies that was with me, after he finished explaining who he drove for, and he said he gets a lot of criticism because of who he drives for, and the name was on the truck. We felt so bad that after we finished handing out gift bags, we went back. Somebody at that time, I had seen it flash across my screen on my phone. Somebody had made a $25 donation. So we decided that we were going to eat lunch there anyway before heading back to Arkansas. And so we decided we were going to give that $25 for him to come in and eat with us. And so we went to his semi, and he said that he couldn't come in because he was waiting on a repair person to come and fix his, what is that thing called on the front of the back, the reefer.
Yes.
So the reefer, something had happened with that, and he had to be there. So, and he was a diabetic. We made sure he couldn't have certain things or whatever. So we went inside and we got some of those beef sticks with the cheese. We got water. We went into Wendy's and we got fruit. And my daughter, she's so loving and she's so kind. She's seen these little squishies, and she said, Mom, she said, we can get one for him and one for 18 Wheels Matter. And she said, we can make him feel a connection with us, and he'll always remember that we love him. And I said, you know what? That is a great idea. So we did do that. And we went back out to his truck, and he got down out of the truck. We all took a picture together, and he gave all of us a hug, and we presented him with the squishy, and it sits beside my bed. And every night we will squeeze it 2 times before we go to bed. And that one really stuck with me. And the very first gift bag, of course, the one I was telling you about earlier, those are the 3 that really, really stick with me.
Oh, That's awesome, because you're right. I mean, there's so oftentimes we never know what a trucker's going through. I mean, they could be missing family members, could be missing a family function. Maybe they haven't been home for a couple of weeks, or like right now, a lot of the truckers are going through slow freight and not making enough money. And so you just never know when you're going to reach that one trucker where you just make a huge impact.
Right, right. And he had expressed and he explained to us that, you know, he started out driving and his wife got pregnant. So he came home. He didn't want to miss the baby. And so he came home and he stayed home until she turned 19 years old. And when she turned 19, he left and now he's back out on the road.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome that he was able to be there for her while she was growing up.
Yes, yes, because a lot of children don't get that. You know, they don't.
I think that's another thing that a lot of people have the misconception, you know, when people get so upset with the truck drivers. I always try to tell everybody, just remember, and I know truck drivers cut people off, and I know sometimes there's rude truckers, but just try to always remember that trucker more than likely has got a family that he's trying to get home to, and he's probably exhausted delivering the goods. So I always try to tell people, have some patience and some compassion.
Right. And, you know, they're getting up like it, you know, me, I could go to work at 8:00 in the morning and get to come home at 5. That truck driver may have to start driving at 8:00 in the morning, go to bed because he or she can't unload until 1 a.m. So they have to get back up and go finish their job where I'm still at home sleeping.
Exactly. The hours of a truck driver are so much longer than what most people work throughout a day. And so, you know, and not all of it's drive time. A lot of it's, you know, doing heavy lifting and all that stuff. So when you compile that, you know, amongst not getting a lot of sleep, it can make a truck driver kind of irritable.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Oh, well, I just want to remind everybody again that if you could remind everybody again where they can follow you and where they can send donations.
Sure. On TikTok, we have the account 18_wheels_matter, and the Cash App and the Venmo is in the bio. You can make a donation there, or we can get you an address to send items to if you prefer to do it other than monetary. We're also on Facebook, and we have 18 Wheels Matter. It's a group, a fan page. We also have the fan page and a group. So we do have 2 of those. And then on Instagram, we are on there. And we also have a Discord that another gentleman has set up for us. So we've got quite a few places going on now.
I'm sorry, hold on. What were you saying? Ask the question, honey.
Yeah. The one that your daughter made up. What was that?
Well, we haven't made it yet, but she would really like to make up a TikTok page, arm pumps and highway jokes. So, but we have not made that up yet. No.
I absolutely love that name.
Yes. I do too. And I think that would be a hit because she's adorable. And like I said, please stop by, visit her TikTok page, because you're going to see them out there doing the arm pumps. You're going to see them out there doing the gift bags and seeing the joy that they're bringing to the trucker spaces. And right now, as she had mentioned at the beginning, you know, this is all coming out of her pocket. So any donations that are made, whether they're monetary or whether you just want to give something for the gift bags, will go directly into the gift bags. And then you can see her handing these out to the truckers, you know, and just making a difference in a trucker's life. Because like you said, we can't do what we do in our lives without the goods that the truckers bring us. So it makes a big difference.
Right. Yeah. Without them, we wouldn't have what we need. We would be, and COVID proved that, like you said earlier, you know, our shelves were almost empty.
Absolutely. I think that was probably the scariest time, and probably the first time that people really understood the value of the truckers, when people weren't able to get the goods. I mean, we all fell victim to that. And I think that was the first time.
And the thing is, though, Angie, is I sit down because the very first video, excuse me, I'm sorry. The very first video that I had made, I tried to think, I had a gentleman argue with me, pretty much that, you don't have to have a truck for everything. And so I kind of sat and I thought about that. And I'm like, well, there are boats, but how are you going to get it from the dock to the store? Well, you got to have a truck. And there's planes and there's, trains. Either way you look at it, you still have to have a truck because, so you still have to have a truck. And if we have to do without those people that go get in that truck and drive us to get everything we need, that would be so hard.
Absolutely. We're going to take another quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Patsy from 18 Wheels Matters. You are listening to Taillights with the Baums on TNC Radio. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Front Lane introduces Impulse, the world's first collision alert system for the driver behind you when you have to brake hard. Impulse uses ultra-bright pulsing red LEDs to alert drivers behind you who might not be giving their full attention to the road. Using amazing accelerometer technology and a battery that will last for years, Impulse installs in minutes, fits nearly any vehicle, and never requires additional wiring. Drivers react 50% faster, helping to protect you and your passengers. Learn more by visiting www.frontlane.com/impulse. That's www.frontlane.com/impulse. Approved by all 50 states. Impulse by Front Lane.
This blog on tncradio.live is brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net. 6 safety tips for truck drivers while driving in the rain. As a truck driver, you'll experience driving in dangerous weather conditions. Driving in the rain creates difficult and dangerous driving conditions for truckers. It's important for truck drivers to be alert and cautious when driving in the rain. Check out our 6 safety tips for truck drivers while driving in the rain. Slow down. Wet roads make it difficult for a driver to control their truck. A good rule of thumb is to drive 5 miles per hour below the speed limit. In some cases, you might have to drive more than 5 miles an hour below. Professional truck drivers adjust their speed according to the weather. When driving in dangerous conditions, only drive the speed you're comfortable with. Leave space. Leaving the appropriate amount of space between each vehicle will give a truck driver enough time to react. A fully loaded tractor-trailer traveling at 65 miles an hour needs about 5 seconds of space to stop. Drivers will have to increase the space between the cars while driving in dangerous weather conditions. Maintain your vehicle. Having your vehicle routinely checked will make driving in the rain more safe. Frequently check your truck's tires to make sure they have enough tread. Also, check your windshield wipers to see if they're working properly. Avoid standing water. Driving through standing water increases the chance of hydroplaning. Hydroplaning causes a driver to lose control of the truck and can result in serious injuries. Standing water also hides potholes and other debris that might be on the road. It's important to always avoid standing water while driving in the rain. Wear your seatbelt. Wearing a seatbelt is a requirement for all truckers, especially in dangerous weather conditions. Eliminate distractions. While driving in the rain, eliminate all distractions. If you drive with the radio on, turn the volume low so you can concentrate. Avoid touching your GPS or looking at it for long periods of time, and avoid using your cell phone. This blog on tncradio.live has been brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net.
Ready for the power of positive and something that will put you back to a time you wanted to last forever? Music is the ultimate time machine. What was your favorite time? Do you want to go back there? LTD Radio features the songs of the 70s, 80s, and 90s that will transport you to a happier time. It'll make you smile and brighten your day. We could all use that about now. TNCRadio.live is proud to carry the great music of LTD Radio.
This is TNCRadio.live.
Welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Taillights with the Baums. I am Angie. I'm here with Larry, and we've been talking with Patsy from 18 Wheels Matters. And Patsy, I figured this is our last segment. I kind of wanted to touch a little bit on the Trucker Knowledge Live that you do on Wednesdays. We kind of talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the show, but I really love the concept and what you do. Can you tell everybody a little bit more about that?
Well, what we try and do, Angie, is once I was in my husband's live and people was just coming through and asking questions, it made me feel like, as well as the gift bags and appreciating the truck drivers, we could bring awareness to about them, what they go through. So, you know, when people started asking questions and I told Robert, I said, maybe we could start something up for them. And in fact, Candace with 32 Truckers a Day, she's the one that helped pick out the name of it. She picked out the name, the Trucker Knowledge Live. And I discussed it with her and I was like, I think here's what I want to do. And so she named it. That was her name. So I was like, okay, so we just started going live and it started out really slow. And once we started advertising it and letting people know that we want to bring awareness to those who don't know. And you would think, it would always be a topic that we would read do at one point, but we haven't. There's always been a new topic. People have so many questions. And if we can help bring awareness to what the drivers go through and what it's like for them out there, that's the main thing, is to help people understand, they're not the bad people that everyone seems to think they are. Because if it wasn't for them, again, and I know I keep saying this, but if you really, really, really think about it, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have what we need. How would we get it? And again, COVID proved it. The shelves were practically empty, and so we just want people to realize, what they go through and be a little bit more patient with them. And, you don't have to bow to them and give them your lane or whatever. Well, me, I do. I would rather have one in front of me than I had behind me, because you got those Peterbilts, how they have the chrome over the windshield and the nose of the truck sticks out and they just look mean.
They do. They really do.
Right. So, and so I would rather have one in front of me than behind me. But anyway, so that's what our focus is. That is what 18 Wheels Matter is all about, is one, showing the top priority is to show these truck drivers, hey, I don't care what people say. You are important. You are loved. You are valued. You are appreciated, because without you, we wouldn't have what we need. And I went out on the truck with Robert so many times before, and this never hit me, Angie. It never hit me until it all got started with a small can of cappuccino. You don't realize what you have or don't have until it's gone. And so that's our main goal, for the Trucker Knowledge Lives, is to show them they're appreciated, to bring awareness to people. And let them know, just exactly what they go through. We have one lady who she's there every single week, and she doesn't live too far from here, but she started out coming in and asking questions, and she's there every week, and no matter what the topic is, you think you would run out of topics, but we don't. People is mailing in different topics at least every week. So we always have a topic. That's not an issue. It's just that the people want to know. They're hungry. Some people are hungry for this information. And then as soon as you get the new people in who's thinking about, I think I'm going to get my CDL. Well, then once they get in there, they're like, do I really want to get my CDL?
Yes.
But, they just don't realize the things they go through. And it's like when I went out with my husband, I told him I could not do what these truck drivers do. 1 week, Angie, and I was ready to come home. And how you all sit behind these wheels and drive all these miles, my knee starts hurting after about 2 hours of driving. So anyway, I know I got off topic, but yes, that's our main focus, is to bring awareness to what they go through and how to get them more appreciation.
Well, and I'm just going to say one more thing I wanted to say is that what I also love about the lives and why I really encourage people to stop by and visit them on Wednesdays is that, people can go in there and ask any questions. It's a judgment-free zone. You're encouraging people to go in there and ask questions and get answers. So I think that's also a great aspect of it. And what time are the lives on Wednesdays?
Trucker Knowledge Lives are on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Central. Yes.
And that's on TikTok, 18 Wheels Matters. And real quick, before we get ready to end the show, I just wanted you to give another shout out. So if anybody would like to make a donation or if they'd like to follow you, where can they go to do that?
They can go onto TikTok, 18_wheels_matter. The Cash App and the Venmo is in the bio. Or if they wish to do other than monetary, we can get them an address to mail items to as well.
Awesome. Patsy, I want to thank you so much for being part of our show. And I know that we're going to definitely have to have you back on here again because you've been an awesome guest.
I've really enjoyed it. And I thank you and Larry and Tom so much for having me. I was nervous, but this was really great. I appreciate the invitation, and you all are such lovely people. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. And you were awesome. And just a quick reminder for everybody listening, we have a great show coming up next. It's Clutch Time Sports with Anderson and Banker. If you're a sports fan, you definitely don't want to miss this show. These guys are awesome. And don't forget that you can always listen to Larry and I on Facebook, Married to the Road, and also TikTok as well, where we share our life over the road. And be sure to come back next Wednesday. Join us here, 7 p.m. Central for Taillights with the Baums. And also tomorrow night, I will be with my girls, Candace and Lisa, on, oh my gosh, I just had a total brain fart, In It for the Long Haul at 7 p.m. Central, right here on TNC Radio. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Be safe out there.